so much of the public still don't realize how deep or how hot the water is that we're all in.
This is high tech, okay? These people have spy satellites on the population. They have infrared, they have night vision. They can pinpoint your location if you're hiding under a rock.
Salente predicts revolution, food riots, tax rebellions by 2012. Renowned for being accurate in the past, says America will cease to be a developed nation within 4 years. Crisis will be worse than Great Depression.
Worse than the Great Depression. And here's why. Back when we had the last depression, most people didn't own homes. They didn't have all this burden that they're carrying now with taxes and everything else, insurance. Back then, people didn't have home equity loans. Matter of fact, people had something called second mortgages. They were called losers. Back then, people didn't have credit cards. Back then, the government had a trade surplus. And the people were self-sufficient. Back then, government was not spending $11.5 trillion and growing in the hole with a budget deficit. Back then, we had a manufacturing base that when the Depression finally did end with the onset of World War II, we were able to manufacture ourselves out of it, and then later on the rest of the world. I think the real breakdown is going to begin in February. That's our forecast. Because in February, we're going to now realize the shock of what has happened from a disappointing is putting it lightly, Christmas holiday retail season. So we're gonna see people out on the streets. You know these things called self-storage units? They're gonna take on the true meaning. Cells are gonna be storing themselves in there because they're not gonna be, it's better than living in a tent as these tent cities are sprouting up all over the country. Get ready for a bank holiday because we're gonna see runs on the banks that are going to come that they're not going to be able to cover them anymore. We believe that gold is going to go into the 2,000 range, and we're going to see periods of deflation whereby all those homes out there are going to be worth a lot less than they are now. There's a glut of product everywhere, deflationary prices on one end and hyperinflation on the other. They say, now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. And this is that time, and we've never seen it more than this. When the crime rates start going up, the first reaction is going to be send more police out into the streets. Again, you could call what's going on now with the government now controlling the world's largest insurance company, the world's largest mortgage brokerage. And now they're talking about taking over one of the largest auto companies. And of course now they're buying into the banks. You could call this either socialism, communism, or fascism, but you cannot call it free enterprise or democracy. They're doing it already. They're squeezing the little people, and this is why there's going to be a revolt. Go around the country, Alex, state after state, city after city, locality after locality. They're raising taxes to make up for lost revenues. How are the people going to pay these things when their median household income is well below 1999 levels? Wages are falling behind. And they're losing their jobs. That's number one. The revolt is going to take place. There's another one too. They've unleashed all of the people from the sales tax people, going to all the small shops, the pizza shops, the liquor stores, all the small people, and they're cracking down on them, making them pay more sales tax. IRS is going to go after more of the small people because the too big to fails are too big to control and too big to monitor. So this is where the revolution starts taking place.